One of the best ways to stand out from your competition is to have more traffic than your competition. This will allow you to show your products, your services, your offerings, your email opt-ins. Everything will explode when you have more traffic. So in this episode, I'm going to show you how to get thousands of new visitors to your websites following a 3-step process. Let's go. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Amazing Seller Podcast. This is episode number 779. My name is Scott Volker, and I'm here to help you build a future-proof business so you can create the ultimate freedom. But there's always a but. You have to take what you learn from this show and take action, and you can become the amazing seller of your life. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's do this. All right, like I said earlier, today we're going to talk about, to me, one of the major ways that we can separate ourselves from the competition, and we can really open up our opportunities to really bring in more revenue as well. So if you're listening to this and you're selling your own physical products right now, or you have your own e-commerce brand and you don't have your own traffic coming to your website, you need to listen to this episode. And I'm going to break it down in 3 steps. And I'm going to also cover a few other options when you are looking to drive traffic. Now, traffic, well, people talk about traffic in a lot of different ways, right? And what I want to talk about traffic as far as what type of eyeballs do we want? Okay. Now you can go out there just like anything and you can make numbers sound really sexy and say, oh, I'm going to get 1 million unique visitors. Well, that's great. But how did you get those unique visitors? And what are those unique visitors going to ultimately do for you? And will you be able to monetize the traffic? All right. So when you hear me talk about traffic, I'm assuming that you understand we're talking about targeted traffic, people that are coming there because they've either discovered a piece of content, they've either been led there from an email, or they've maybe they've belonged to part of your community that you've built on Facebook, because maybe you have a Facebook page or a group and you don't have a website for whatever reason, right? We want to know that they are targeted. So it is really, really critical that you understand that is what we are doing here. Now, think about this. If you had, let's just say, I'm going to use a random number here, but let's just say you had 25,000 unique visitors to your website every single month, all right? And you were able to show, if you sell a product, you were able to show a discount that you are running, or a special that you are running, or maybe just a launch of a new product. Do you think that that would help you sell more units if it was the right people? If it was people in your market that were actively either using your product or types of products like yours, or helping to achieve a certain result? Do you think that that would help your business? I would say probably yes. But here's the cool thing. What if maybe you're not selling a physical product, or maybe you are, but you want another way to bring in revenue? What if you could take that traffic and you could get paid for just people arriving to your website, not even clicking on anything and not even buying anything, just landing on your page? Well, that is totally possible as well. And we've been doing this in our so-called new brand that we've been referring to for the past 2.5 years now. And we turned on an ad network last January, and we've been averaging now anywhere from $3,500 to $4,500. Actually, we hit $4,787, I think was the exact number, in December of this last year in 2019. And that is directly just from traffic. So that's the other benefit. Then there's affiliate offers we can plug in there, and we can open up our portfolio of products. We don't have to even source them. We can do sponsorships. We can build our email list. So all of that stuff happens when you have the traffic. But a lot of people get scared with traffic. And the one thing that people get hung up on is really about building a website, which to me is really very simple nowadays. Like nowadays, you can actually pay someone to build the website for you for under $100. Go to Fiverr, go to FreeUp, go to any outsourcing place that you want to, and just hire someone to do it if you don't want to do it yourself. But it is pretty simple to do yourself if you want to. I did go through all of those steps inside of our Brand Builders series. So what I'm going to do is I will link up to those episodes in this episode, and this is 779. So the show notes can be found at theamazingseller.com/779. All right. Now, before I do go any further, if we're doing this, if we're going after trying to get traffic, because that will allow us to really leverage that traffic and really point it wherever we want and put things in front of it that we want. Okay. So if we're all good with that, okay, that's what we're going to do. We do need to understand our market, and we need to understand what is going to attract those people. So if you have not gone through our brand growth validation checklist, you're going to want to do that as soon as possible, okay? And that can be found at brandcreators.com. There's also a video there of me walking you through that process so you can see exactly what we're doing, what we're looking for, what makes a good market, what can we do in these different channels out there to really bring in traffic? What can we do to monetize that traffic? All of that stuff is decided once we have the market nailed down. And that's what we do inside of that brand growth validation checklist. So if you haven't done that, make sure that you do that right now, or why don't you wait until after this episode? Then you can do it. All right. So brandcreators.com. All right. So let's talk about different types of traffic. There's paid traffic. All right. Now, the thing is with paid traffic, and I'm a fan of paid traffic, by the way, and I'll talk a little bit more about this. Mainly today, we're going to be talking about free traffic and how to really build and grow evergreen assets. And that's really the 3-step process. And we're actually following this right now in our brand case study inside of Brand Creators Academy. And I'll walk you through some of the things that we're doing, but I'm following this to a T. All right. But let's talk about paid traffic, because a lot of people hear about paid traffic and they want to use paid traffic because why? It's faster. And I would not argue that. It is faster, but it costs money. Okay. And I'm talking, you could be spending, anywhere from $20 a day, maybe less if you want to. You can spend up to $10,000 a day. I mean, the traffic is there, but you're going to need to pay for it. And we're mainly talking about, or at least for me, is like paid traffic is Facebook ads. And then that lends itself to Instagram ads because, it's basically the same thing in a sense. And you can go Pinterest ads. Like there's all different ways that you can get in front of Google ads, all kinds of ways to get in front of paid. But here's the deal with paid. Before we get into this 3-step process of really creating these evergreen assets that are going to bring in potentially thousands of people, okay, over time. All right. So understand that if you are going to consider paid advertising, okay, you need to have some type of offer, at least where you can make your money back within the first 30 days. And why that's important is because if you put $1 into ads, you need to know that you're going to be able to get that $1 back within 30 days. If not, you're just buying leads, hoping that down the line, they're going to turn into money, right? So we want that list to pay for itself. And the way that you do that is generally, and there's a lot of different ways you can do it, but the main way is if you have a product and you're selling someone that product, if you're going to run a direct ad to the product, which I don't necessarily recommend because, again, people that are on Facebook or on Instagram, they're not there to really buy. They are there to consume, information or education or be entertained. So that's another way that we can go at it, which we will definitely talk about. But if you're going to run ads and you're trying to do it where you break even, you need to have more than one product, or that customer needs more than one of your products. Okay. So if you sell something and you're like, here, get this product special for $9.95. And if you get it, you can have free shipping or whatever. And then the minute that they order that, okay, because let's say that you're willing to spend up to, $5 to get that $10 customer. And we know that you have hard cost in that, right? Cost of goods. Well, you might not have $5 in profit, but you're willing to take a little bit of a loss because you're going to have an upsell in place there, or an order bump. If you want to, use one of those, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it, but you need a way for them to add more to their cart. All right. So if you don't have that, then I would encourage you to figure that part out, or don't run paid ads yet. All right. The other thing is, do your customers need more of what you have in the next 30 days? So let's say that they only do buy one. You might make an offer on the thank you page, but if you don't, in your email follow-up, because now that they've, become part of your buyers list, you're able to then email them people, and over the next 30 days, you'll probably email them with a special because they're going to need that thing that they bought because either it's a 30-day supply or maybe it wears out in a few uses, whatever. That's something to consider. If you don't have that, well, then we got to think about how do we add something to the cart that would benefit that buyer. All right. The other thing is, can you offer a big discount and still make money? So you might have a product that has a really great margin. If that's the case, then yes, you can probably try to get paid traffic to work. Okay. But you also need to understand, what does the product cost you? What's the fulfillment cost on that product? And then what money is left over? And then how much is it costing you to get one person to buy that? And that's how you get what it's going to cost you to get that customer. And in some cases, it's okay if you even lost a little bit of money on that. Let's say that I'm willing to lose, $5 per person, but I know that I could have an upsell on the back end, or I know that in 30 days, they're probably going to need another one. And then I know that I'll make it up on the back end. Okay. But if you're doing that, it is going to take some testing. There's no ad that I've ever run or anyone that I know has run right out of the gate that it's been profitable. There's always testing and tweaking and looking at the numbers. All right. So that's paid. All right. And we're not going to go into the paid side of things right now because I don't believe you should start there. I believe that you should start with really creating evergreen assets that will deliver free value to your marketplace. And then from there, it'll lead people over to a blog post. And then from that blog post, or content on your website, however you want to classify it, or a YouTube video, whatever, Facebook post, you want to be able to communicate with those people on a regular basis and show up, to the marketplace with content. So the way that you can create free evergreen assets, and what I mean by evergreen means that they keep on giving, okay? They keep on working. I know people right now, even including ourselves in our brand that we've built over the past 2.5 years, there's a lot of content. A lot of our traffic is coming from content. And right now we're over 150,000 unique visitors per month, upwards of 200,000 page views. And that's coming straight from content. Okay, now some content's on the blog, some content's on YouTube, some content's on Pinterest. So we've dispersed it, but they're evergreen. Okay, so if we're looking at evergreen assets, we're looking at ways that people can find us years from now. And again, like I said, we're doing this right now. There's good friends of mine that have done it, and that they're telling me 9 years in, they're still getting traffic from a blog post that was done 9 years ago. Okay. And sometimes it took a year before that post even got life. Okay. So yes, it's a little bit of a longer term strategy, but just keep in mind, you're planting seeds in your marketplace that can lead back to your home base, your website, your blog. That's why we call it our home base. All right. You hear me talk about that a lot. If you're new, you haven't heard me talk about your website is your home base. That's where we're directing all the traffic because we control that traffic. All right. So 3 different ways that you can create evergreen assets is 1, through blog content, blog post. Yes, blogs are still a thing, by the way. It's basically a website that you're able to post a piece of content on. That's what a blog is. Everyone thinks that it's a special thing. It's not. It's basically a platform that allows you on your website to post and create a blog or a post that is titled with the thing that you're trying to help someone with. How to build a wooden desk, right? That would be a piece of content, right? And then that post would be whatever it is, whatever your website is, ilovewoodworking.com/how to build a wood table or desk or whatever, right? That's what it would be. So that creates a piece of content in your marketplace. All right. And there's ways that we can go out there and figure out what are the best pieces of content we should be delivering to our marketplace. And again, I went through this extensively in our 6-part series in the Brand Builders series. And again, I will link that up in the show notes here. There's actually 6 episodes that break everything down from the minute that you decide on the market and the niche, all the way to where you get your website up and running, you created content, you built your email list, and you start selling products. It's all there. I did a 6-part podcast series. So if you want to listen to that, I'm going to drop it in the show notes here at theamazingseller.com 1-800-779. All right. So one is blog content. Okay. What does your market need to know? What questions are they asking that you can answer? What are some how-to articles? What are some product review type posts that will help them by choosing this versus this, which by the way, those work really well. We've had some really good success with this versus this post. YouTube videos. That's number 2. If you create a YouTube video, that's evergreen. It is on that search engine. YouTube is a search engine, by the way. It's also indexed in Google, all right? And people can find that 10 years from now, right? If you put a blog post up, people can find that 10 years from now, okay? Those are what we also call search engines and search traffic. Now, the next one, which is number 3, that's your Facebook posts. Okay. Now, Facebook posts are somewhat evergreen, but they aren't really searched for. Okay. They're really kind of like in the moment, kind of like Instagram, but Instagram's even faster. Facebook is nice because it does still reside there on your page. If someone finds your page, you can highlight certain ones, you can repost certain things. But it's not really where people don't go to Facebook and search for a how-to, right? Generally, they don't. Now, you can, but they don't. But those are the 3. The top 2 for me are blog content on your website and then YouTube videos, okay? And actually, the 3 really go well. They work well together, all right? So let's go through, first off, let's talk about this. How to speed up the process and amplify your content. All right. So before I get into the 3-step process, which I almost just jumped the gun, I wanted to give you this because some people want to speed it up. I want to speed it up. This is exactly how we're speeding it up in the brand that we're building right now. And right now it's just building out the content side. We just started to do this part, and that's how we're speeding up this process. And we're starting to get eyeballs quicker than waiting for Google to just index or for YouTube to just pick up a video. Okay. So this is it. And there's actually 3 steps here too, but these aren't the 3 that I'm going to give you that I want you to consider doing in your business right now so you can start getting that momentum. All right. So number 1, build an email list. Okay. Now you can do that organically. So if you want to put a form up on your web page or up on your Facebook page and you don't have a lot of eyeballs yet, it's going to be slow. You might get 1 here, 3 there, and that's great. That's awesome. This is where I would say, in order to kickstart this is where I would pay for emails. I would pay, not that I'm paying for a list, I'm paying to get in front of the people with something that they'll raise their hand for me to let me know that they're part of my market. And now I can communicate with them on a regular basis. So instead of me waiting for Google to index my post that I did, which by the way, little side note here, this morning I was doing an update video for Brand Creators Academy, and I was showing a post that I created on December 27th, 2019. And we posted it just like all of the other ones. We've posted about 78 articles so far, blog posts. And so I went and looked into our analytics, and I also looked into Uber Suggest, which shows me the top articles that I'm starting to rank for. And this article that was posted less than a month ago was ranking in the number 3 position on Google, and we're already starting to get traffic through those keywords that are leading people from that post that we created. So that was a little bit quicker than normal, but usually we're like 3 months, 4 months. We hope to start seeing some traffic, okay? But just a little side note there for you, just because it was top of mind. So number 1, build an email list. Again, organically, you can do it that way, which I do recommend doing it organically too, but paid is going to really jumpstart that. So what we're doing right now inside of Brand Creators Academy is we're doing this part of that process. We're building out the email list. And the time of recording this, which I'm going to do an update here probably in the next episode or maybe the one after, where I'm going to give you the full update, the full rundown on this email list build that we just recently did, which we're over 9,000 emails already in under 30 days. We have spent money on these. We spent about, get this, 18 cents an email address of people that are targeted in our market. And we've also built a Facebook page because we wanted to run ads. You need a Facebook page in order to run ads. we built that page to where it's over 1,600 people that have liked that page, okay, so far. And that was just a byproduct, because so we're able to also target those people. And anyone that has hit our page, even if they didn't give us their email address, we've built a custom audience in Facebook because we put a pixel on our landing page, on our email opt-in page. And the way that we're doing this, and I recommend doing this, we did this in the very beginning of the brand that I talked about, to where we're at about 200,000 page views now and 150,000 uniques. We did it by starting from nothing with an email list. We built the email list exactly how we just shared it inside of Brand Creators Academy, and how I'm detailing it out for you right now. So this email list is going to allow us to get eyeballs on our content quicker. Okay, so the second part of this is then we send emails to the content that we've published on our blog, on our website, our home base, YouTube, if you've posted on YouTube. If you want to lead people over to Facebook, whatever you want to do, you can direct them now, right? We don't have to wait for the search engines to index us, right? So it speeds up this process, all right? And then number 3 is we take that same piece of content and then we repurpose it and put it up on Facebook, okay? And if it's a video for YouTube, we'll upload that natively to Facebook. That's another huge thing that a lot of people make the mistake of. They take a YouTube video and then they just take the link from YouTube and share it on Facebook. Facebook doesn't like that. They don't give you as much reach for that. And what you want to do is you want to just take that same video and you just want to re-upload it to Facebook natively, so that way there it resides there and over on YouTube. But again, with the email list, we can direct people over to that post. We can start to get some engagement there. So see how we can speed up this process. All right. So with that being said, let's get to the 3-step process that you're going to be able to create evergreen assets that continue to get traffic 365 days a year. All right. So number 1 in this process, create content your market is looking for. All right. And I would suggest in the very beginning using blog posts. Okay. 1 post per week minimum. Right now, work up to about 15 articles, blog posts that are going on our brand that we're using as a case study inside of Brand Creators Academy. But it didn't start that way. We're at about 1 a week. And then we scaled it up, and that's what we're doing. We're slowly scaling it up. We're building out our systems to be able to allow this to happen. We actually have a writer that we hired to do this. So yes, we're paying. I think we're paying about $28 for 1 blog post, which is pretty cheap because it's an asset that I'm going to always have, and it's going to continually bring in traffic. So that's number 1. Now you can do that yourself, but you do need to know. Okay, the big one here is, what is your market looking for? So again, I'm going to lead you back to a resource that if you have not gone through Brand Growth Validation Checklist, you need to, because you will identify your market. You'll also identify what they're looking for by going through this checklist. All right, so make sure you go to brandcreators.com and do that. Make sure you do that. All right, so again, I'm going to repeat that. Number 1, we need to create content that your market is looking for, that is useful, that is helpful, right? And we want to create at least 1 post per week, minimum, okay? Step 2 in this process, build an email list, okay? Now you can do it with paid traffic like we did to kind of get the ball rolling a little bit, okay? And like I said, the recent case study, we just built one over 9,000 emails. And here's the kicker, guys. When we were talking about this inside of Brand Creators Academy, we were talking about what our goal was going to be for this email list build. We were shooting for 2,500, and we've surpassed that, 9,000. Okay, and the Facebook post that the ad is running through, over 2,100 likes. Let's see, we're at about 957, I think. If I'm thinking off the top of my head here, it might even be a little bit more. Shares. Okay. And then from there, over 650 comments. And a lot of those comments are them basically tagging one of their friends to share it or to see it so they can enter. Okay. So really, really effective. But yes, we have built this email list with paid traffic, but about 18 cents per email. So we'll take it. Okay. And then the third part is we're sending an email once per week to the content on our website, on our blog, okay, our home base. All right, that's what we're doing. That's the 3-step process. Create the content your market is looking for, okay, And from there, again, obviously put it up on your blog, on your website. Okay. Do that at least once a week. Build the email list. Okay. And that doesn't need to be an ongoing thing all the time. I mean, once you get something built, then from there it's done. You can kind of pause that temporarily. If you want to keep doing it after the fact with paid, you can. But you also want to put some type of email opt-in on your homepage. You might as well. I think right now in our so-called new brand, we're getting around 50 to 60 new email opt-ins a day organically. We're not paying for them. Okay. And we haven't really done any type of paid email list building in that brand for probably around a year and a half. And we've been getting anywhere, like I said, anywhere from 50 emails a day. We've been up as high as 140 per day. It just depends on the traffic that's coming to the site. And if they've already been there before, if you have repeat people, they're not going to opt in again, all of those things. But, we don't have a day that goes by that we don't get at least 50 emails, which is pretty nice. And it's free, right? It's free traffic that's coming over from the content pieces that we've created. See how I said in the beginning, how you can really create, traffic and explode the growth? Well, you're exploding the growth on all different fronts. By building the email list, the bigger that gets, the more attention you get, the more traffic you can drive to a blog post. That can also spike the algorithm in Google and get more social, sharing and all of that stuff. It just starts to compound on each other. All right. So create the content your market is looking for. From there, with your email list, first off, if you haven't built it, you need to build it. And again, another resource for you, if you've not gone through our free email list building training, then I would recommend that you go to listbuildclass.com. Again, that's listbuildclass.com. And there you'll actually see another case study that myself and Chris Schaefer did. And we walk you through that entire process. We show you exactly how we got the pages set up, how we found the market, how we targeted the market, how we put the offer in front of them, how we collected the emails we wrote. Everything is in that free workshop, and you can go check it out. Like I said, listbuildclass.com. It'll take you right there. Totally free. All right. And go check it out. All right. So that is that. So you do need that email list if you want to amplify this and really get this thing rolling. And then the last thing in this is, and you want to commit to this every single week, is send one email per week to the content that is on your website and your home base. Okay. And what this will do is that content will then start to get eyeballs. And depending on what the content is written about, now we talk about creating content buckets. So you have questions bucket, you have a how-to bucket, and you have a product bucket. Well, you might create a post that's like the 5 best routers for woodworking in 2020, right? Well, then you would send an email, hey, we just did our top routers to use in your woodworking for 2020. All the top brands, go check it out. People will go there. They're going to read your post. And guess what? Those 5 different routers are probably not yours that you sell, but they're probably on Amazon and you're an affiliate for those. And now you can technically get paid as an affiliate for selling a router. Okay. So this is how it opens up ways for you to monetize your website, is by also offering other products that you don't necessarily sell right now in your business, and you might not ever sell these products. But why not open it up to where you can offer more products without you having to have inventory or a source of product or go through any of that stuff? Right? So that's what we're talking about here. So again, I wanted to go through this with you because I think it's super important. And you have maybe went through the 52X traffic momentum challenge. If you didn't, I will link up in this episode as well. But that one there really stacks well with what we just went through, because if you do what we just said, and then you do that for 52 weeks, you're going to be able to see that you're starting to get into a rhythm. You're starting to get some traffic. You're starting to build that email list. You're starting to build a rapport with the email list. You're starting to get more sales. You're starting to see other ways that your business is bringing in revenue. And in some cases, they could be passive. So that's really, really nice. All right. So here again, last time I'm going to repeat this. The 3-step process looks like this for your evergreen assets. 1, create content your market is looking for, and then post it on your blog or on YouTube or on both. Number 2, build that email list with paid traffic just to get the ball rolling. once you have the email list, or if you already have the email list, send them over to your home base, your website. And number 3 is do that. Send them there, but every single week. All right. Do it at least once per week. One little ninja tip here, and I've talked about this in the past, and it works really, really well, is what you want to do, send that email. Okay. Send that email. And then from there, wait 24 hours or even sometimes 36 hours, and then go back to that same email that you sent. Depending on your email provider, you can generally send to the unopened. So people that have not opened that email yet, you can resend it to just those people. Now, we've done that a lot. And we actually did it as a case study inside of Brand Creators Academy, and the stats are crazy. The first email, after I think it was 36 hours, we had a 24.1% open rate, which is really good. Industry standard is typically around 10%, okay? Maybe 12. Now, the unopened that we sent, okay, 36 hours later, that actually got over a 12% open rate. Okay, so we went from a 24%, which is still good. People would have just stopped there. We sent to the unopens, we got another 12% of people. Okay, 12% of people. Okay, it's a lot of people when you're looking at having a list of 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000, right? It adds up. So that's a good practice to get into. Make sure that you do that. We use ConvertKit. Again, I link everything up inside of that free workshop. You can go through our affiliate link there, and I believe they have a free trial there as well. You can go to theamazingseller.com/ConvertKit, and that'll take you there as well. Great service. I love them. I use them. And I am a huge promoter of them because they make it super easy to do those things and really look at your analytics, but really just make it easy to do, because a lot of people get hung up on the tech, right? With even like building a website or building a landing page or any of that stuff. Once you can get past that tech hurdle, you're able to do a lot of cool things, or have someone else do it if you don't want to do it. All right. So guys, hopefully this has helped you. Hopefully this has gotten you excited. Hopefully you're going to be focusing on getting traffic in 2020, because that will help you sell more product. It'll help you diversify your traffic sources, your revenue sources, and it will really future-proof your brand. So make sure that you re-listen to this if you need to. And the next thing is, make sure that you go through that 3-step process and get started today. All right, guys, that's it. That's going to wrap up this episode. As always, remember, I'm here for you. I believe in you, and I am rooting for you. But you have to, come on, say it with me, say it loud, say it proud, take action. Have an awesome, amazing day. I'll see you right back here on the next episode. Hey, before you go, could you do me one quick favor? If you haven't done so already, can you head over to iTunes and can you leave me a review over there? I would really love to hear how this podcast has helped you in one way, shape, or form. And oh, by the way, I read every single one of them. And actually, I'm going to read one right now. And this one came in recently from Alan V. And he said, "This is the best podcast that delivers not only free, but most important, very well organized content to help you understand and know what you have to do in your brand and Amazon business. Scott is very energetic," no, really? "and smart about organizing lots of information into little baby steps to help me take action. Thank you very much, Scott, for being an inspiration and for delivering so much." There's a lot of O's there. So again, I read every single one of them. I appreciate all of you, and I would really appreciate it if you would leave me one of your own reviews there as well. And if you haven't also subscribed yet to the podcast, if you can do that, that would be amazing. Talk to you later. Bye.